It's my channel's birthday, and I'm celebrating by creating a new video series on resourcing. So, every week I'm going to be releasing a new video about resourcing. I'm going to be sharing a resource that you can use as a content creator, as an entrepreneur, as a creative person in general. And so, I have a particular skill set, a particular background, a particular approach that I'm coming from as a trained hypnotist. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the ways that I work with the mind that I would share with you if you were coming to me as a client. I'm going to share these so that you can use these to help get unstuck, to think freely, to move forward in the way that you want to in order to create awesome stuff. And ultimately, the biggest creation of your life is you. So today's resource is anchoring, and it's a handy tool that you can use right now today. It's going to help you to change your emotional state. It's going to be able to help you to access emotional states at will, and it's going to help you to generate responses that you want to feel in different contexts. So, my goal with this video is to help you understand what anchors are, how they work, and recognize some anchors that you already have. And then you can decide whether you want to keep those anchors or not. I'm going to teach you how to form anchors, and I'm going to teach you how to collapse anchors so that you don't have to have another way of thinking about anchors is triggers. If you have a habituated response to something, if you see something and you automatically bring up a negative state, if that is something that you want to change, I'm going to be teaching you how to change that in this video today. So with that said, let's get started. The simplest way to explain what anchoring is to just think about sticking something to something else. If you're anchoring a boat, you're just sticking the boat to the ground. You're sticking the boat to the ground so that it stays in a particular place. That's what we're doing when we create psychological anchors. We have psychological anchors or associations or connections all over the place. When you see a picture of your cat, you probably feel warm, fuzzy feelings. When you think about someone dying, you probably feel sad. All of those are examples of anchors. Even triggers, like trauma triggers, are anchors. They're responses that are triggered by a negative anchor. And so once you understand this, you can begin to work with it, begin to play with it. This is actually a very empowering realization because it means that if you are able to step back and recognize what anchors you already have, and you really learn how to use this material that I am presenting here, you can begin to work through some of your conditioned responses to life, to the environments that you encounter. You can begin to work through some of the responses that you have that feel like they're beyond your control, and you can begin to take back control of the way that you respond so that you can create your life from a place of choice, agency, and empowerment. That's what we're all about here. And so I'm really excited to get into the material of how you can use this as a creator. In this segment, we're actually going to create an anchor. We are going to think about a feeling state or a resource state that we want to be able to access anytime, anywhere. And then we're going to create a way to access that feeling on demand so that we can enjoy it whenever we want. So for this exercise, I'm going to anchor a feeling that I think most people could benefit from, especially in the context of being an entrepreneur or a creator of some sort. Accessing confidence is invaluable because we need confidence in order to break through our habituated limitations in order to do new things that are not always easy, in order to be able to do things even when we don't know what the result of that action is going to be. And so being able to access calm confidence and feeling like, okay, I've got this. That's what we're going to anchor in this exercise. So just think of a time when you felt that way about something. And maybe you have a recent work success that would be a great resource to draw upon. If you're struggling a bit in this area and you don't feel like you have any confidence that is easily accessible, think about something that is so simple that you take it for granted. For example, maybe you really easily know how to make a cup of coffee. Maybe you really easily know how to take a step when you're walking. Maybe you really easily know how to clap your hands. These things are just like stuff that we might take for granted, but at one point we did have to learn how to do those things. At one point we had to develop the connections that would allow ourselves to move in the ways that create those actions. And I've been thinking about this a lot recently because I have a friend who is recovering from a stroke. And when he had that stroke, he lost control of his arm. And it was so frustrating at first that simple things that he used to take for granted that came so easily to him before the stroke then had to be relearned. And it felt arduous. It felt like a huge challenge. But what he's able to do now, knowing what we know about how to learn something, he is reframing those challenges as little steps and praising himself as he goes to learn that step of gaining access of the arm so that he can do the things that he used to be able to do. So if you want to just think about something that you take for granted, it's so easy that you think, oh, I would never even think about being confident in being able to do that. I'm confident in my ability to pick up this pen, right? So just think about confidence. And as you think about the thing that makes you feel really confident, the thing that makes you feel really good, really sure of yourself, just let that feeling grow. You could even imagine that there's a size to it or a color to it, and you can allow it to become even more intense, even more bright, bold, even more large in your mind. If you can attach emotional intensity to it, this is going to work even better for you. So just spend some time feeling that feeling, just building it up. And then when you've got it going really strong, so pinch your fingers together and you just send that calm confidence into this hand gesture. And then break state. And you can reinforce it again by just going into that calm confidence and pinching your fingers together. And then breaking state. Try it one more time. Just access that calm confidence and pinch your fingers together. And as you reinforce this, you're going to create that connection. You're going to create that bridge. And then you're going to be able to access that feeling state. Whatever context you're in, you're going to just be able to drop into that calm confidence whenever you want. And it's going to help you so much. You're going to be able to just easily do things that you couldn't do before because you're able to access that state of confidence quickly and clearly. Now that you know how to set an anchor and you've been able to do that thing to fire that anchor whenever you want, to be able to access that state of confidence and calm, we're going to use that now. We're going to use that to collapse an anchor. So if you have a negative association with something, there's a tone of voice that always sets you off, or if there is a situation that always gives you anxiety, we can work with that now by using anchor collapse. So first, think about the resource state that you want to feel when you're in that triggering situation instead. So think about feelings of calm, think about feelings of peace, think about feelings of feeling safe. We can put those, just, think about a situation that evokes all of those feelings for you, just feeling happy and safe. You could put that in one fist, okay? So just going into your happy, safe feeling place, putting that in one fist. And then just test it. If I squeeze this fist, does that send me into that calm, peaceful state? If you're not feeling amped up, you might not notice a big difference. If you're already feeling calm, you might just be like, okay, I feel calm. But just strengthen that resource of just feeling, okay, I'm dropping into calm now. Now, we're going to do something for the stress bit. So just think about that situation that gives you stress. You can just put that in your other hand. So just imagine being able to send the stress into the hand. Whenever you squeeze that hand, you remember the stress of being at a family reunion or whatever it is, okay? So stress hand, and then here's the calm hand. Now, we're gonna do the third step, which is to fire them off at both at once. And when you fire them off both at once, if you set this up correctly, you're gonna notice something pretty interesting, okay? So I'm just gonna give you a moment to pause the video and fire off that. And what's different? When you work with these setting the positive and the negative anchors, and then when you fire them off together, something interesting happens in your brain, that anchor collapses. That anchor becomes less associated, less powerful. And so the association that you had in your brain before is now weakened. And that's a good thing when we're talking about an association that you don't want to have. So just play around with this, creating anchors and also collapsing anchors. And you can use this in so many ways, as a creator, as an entrepreneur, as someone who generates original material and makes a lot of decisions from day to day. And so this allows you to more easily control your state, to choose the state that you're coming from, so that you can be putting out good stuff into the world, approaching life from the perspective that you want to be coming from. So I'm gonna wrap this up at this point, but I am also going to throw up on my website, I've got a worksheet for you to walk through some of this stuff. It's going to help you to think through, what am I actually doing when I sit down to create? What are the feelings that I want to be feeling when I'm creating? And what would be more useful feelings for me to be tapping into instead as I am creating material? So I'm going to drop the link in the description to this video. If you want to check it out, just click that link below and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for helping me to celebrate the birthday of my channel.